Yeah, absolutely. So meetings is one of our core shows here in New Zealand. It really brings the international business events world to New Zealand, and over the last 2 days you've pretty much seen the best we've got to offer, and feedback I've heard from our buyers from America, China and Australia has been really great. Really exciting things happening in New Zealand.
A lot of Aussies running around here, all excited now. You've got your GST back campaign. What does that actually involve? What does it mean for buyers and PCOs in Australia?
Yeah, look, it's really the intention from IRD is really to put New Zealand on the same playing field in the Australian market. So what it means, for example, for corporate under certain circumstances, and all the details you need to find out from IRD directly, but there's some opportunities to get GST back on your event in New Zealand. So what we really focused on is there are a lot of question marks, particularly in Australia. How does it work? So we've been running a few events around the country in Brisbane, in Sydney, with our business events manager and market to really educate our Australian partners on what it means, because what it means for an association might be quite different. How does a PCO get involved? How does a corporate benefit? So we're really in that information space, working with our partners at IRD to explain it more to the market.
And business events, for Tourism New Zealand has grown significantly in the past few years. You've had extra funding and more staff on, and tell us about some of the changes.
Yeah, look, it's really 2 years ago, Tourism New Zealand was just stepping into the business events market. So we've grown from a team of 1 to a team of 14 at the moment, with offices around the world in Los Angeles, in Shanghai, in Sydney and in Singapore, and obviously offices here in New Zealand. So it's a huge step change for us. It's really about New Zealand as a country takes it very seriously now to get world-class business events to New Zealand. Stepped up our game in Australia, a lot more advertising, a lot more staff resource in market, more opportunities for associations, for corporates to connect with us, and likewise worldwide. It's a real golden opportunity for us to get more business.
Last time we spoke, you're on the phone, you were in Shanghai doing some business up in China. When will that market go from, it's still a very, very young market, even in terms of the leisure market for New Zealand. When will that go from leisure into MICE, do you think?
Just about now, and when you look at China, for us it's one of our biggest, like you said, leisure markets, but it's already some really good incentive business coming through, so it's already starting. If you look at demand in China, Europe, US, high demand before, now they're moving to that next stage and looking, where can I excite my customers, what's an interesting incentive destination. They've been to Europe, they've done the US, and nowadays New Zealand really becomes as one of those emerging destinations. So it's really in that emerging space. We see good business, we see good group sizes of 80, 100, but I've spoken to a few suppliers today, they've actually got some bookings of groups of 600 plus on the books, which a couple of years ago would have been unheard of. So it's coming through right now. That's why it's a great time to be in market.
4 mooted convention centres around the country at the moment, all in the thousands of capacity for delegates. The small thing's 900 up to well over 2,000. What will this mean for New Zealand when it comes to major events?
Just puts us a level up. So when you look at what New Zealand currently can deliver on, we're sitting quite comfortable, 1,000, 1,500 people, and we're bidding quite well on those events at the moment. So we increased our standing. International Convention and Congress Association, they release statistics. We've just moved up a few spots again to 51st in the world, so not quite in the top 50, but we're getting there. So there's already room for growth. What does new infrastructure do for us? It's just going to allow us to up our game even further. Once we've got those capacities, we can look at some larger conferences. We will get a better reputation as well, where we currently sort of sit in the space. Yes, they can do 1,000 well. It'll move us up that notch that you need internationally to credibly bid for larger size conferences.